What's up, David here, and in this video I'm going to give you 5 techniques you can use to easily avoid awkward silences so you can enter all of your conversations with complete confidence. Let's do it! Alright, so the first thing that you need to do is to simply accept the fact that some awkward silences are inevitable. Even the most confident people who are amazing conversationalists come to points in all of their conversations where the subject has to change and the conversation dies down for a bit. This is 100% unavoidable, but if you do not accept this fact, then you're going to be putting all this pressure on yourself to never have one single awkward silence, and then when you do have an awkward silence, you're going to get so in your head about it that you're not going to be able to be confident and just let the rest of the conversation flow naturally, and you're going to sabotage yourself.
Okay, so I'm actually heading to downtown Boston to run a few errands, but I'm gonna keep the video going. The second thing you need to do is to fill the silence with energy. When that inevitable awkward silence comes, you can do one of two things. You're gonna say something, but you can either say something with a lot of energy, or you can do what most guys do, and you can say something with a really half-ass vibe. Because we all have this bad tendency to get in our head when the awkward silence starts, and then when we finally open our mouth and say something, we almost mumble it or say it with no conviction, and then it makes the conversation feel even more and more awkward. So instead what you need to do is when you do finally open your mouth, speak with energy and conviction. Because even if you say something dumb, if you say it with a lot of energy, it's gonna keep the energy level in the conversation high, and it's gonna make sure that that awkward silence does not take anything away from the conversation, and that you keep it going with a lot of strong momentum. All right, so now let's talk about specific things you can actually say to break the awkward silence. In my mind, the easiest thing is simply to make an observation about the environment around you, because this way you don't have to worry about thinking of something like witty to say, and you probably can't think of anything good to say based on the last thing the other person said, or you wouldn't be in an awkward silence in the first place. So to give you a couple examples of what I mean, if you're at a bar maybe on your first date with a girl, and you can just look around the bar and maybe make an observation about a couple other people who are getting drinks at the bar. So maybe you look across the bar and you say, oh, like I wonder, I bet those two people over there are on their first date as well. Or like, oh shit, it looks like he's about to break up with her. Or if you're at a party or like a cocktail event and there's a lot of people standing around a room and you run out of things to say, you might look around and start just to guess, what other people's occupations are or what brought them there. Anyway, I'm getting to my first stop for this trip, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of downtown Boston today because it's beautiful out, but keep watching because after this, I'm gonna give you another way you can keep the conversation going and you don't wanna miss it. Alright guys, so I ran my errands, bought a few new pieces of clothing because I'm actually putting an article together for next week called 10 Essential Things That Every Man Needs in His Wardrobe. That should actually be live before this video goes live, so I'll put the link to that in the description if you're interested. Anyway, I'm just lounging here for a minute and then I'm gonna finish up the video. Alright, so another easy way to jumpstart a conversation when you hit an awkward silence is to ask the other person for their advice on something. And this works so well because people love giving their opinion. When someone asks you for your opinion on something, it makes you feel important. And what specifically you should ask for advice on really depends on your personal interests and your personal goals. I can't just give you something to say because then it's not gonna be genuine. For example, I love working out and lifting weights, so if I'm talking to a guy who likes to work out, I might ask him his opinion on what his favorite squat exercise is. Or right now I'm also working to improve my style, so if I'm talking to a girl, I might ask her opinion on a certain jacket or a certain type of shoe that I'm considering getting to see what she thinks. I hope that makes sense. This is our YouTube video.
Can we be in it?
Alright, so these girls really wanted to be in this video, so... Alright guys, so my 5th and final tip is to embrace the silence. And what I mean by that is rather than like scrambling to find something to say, just sit back and let the silence be there. Yes, at first this is gonna make you feel awkward as fuck, but once you get comfortable doing this, it actually turns into an extremely powerful technique. This is because the other person is gonna feel the pressure as well, and eventually they're gonna be the ones to scramble to say something and to fill the silence. And when this happens, on one hand, it makes you appear super confident to the other person because they can tell that you're actually comfortable with awkward silences. And on the other hand, it sort of gave you the power position in the conversation because the other person now had to scramble and think of something to say, and now they've sort of taken the role of the one who has to take the burden of awkward silences going forward. Like I said, this will feel awkward at first, but if you practice it a few times and you sort of work through that initial discomfort, you're quickly gonna get comfortable with this and it's gonna be a piece of cake. All right guys, I'm gonna wrap the video up here because I need to head home and get some other work done, but those are 5 things you can do right now to start getting comfortable with awkward silence. I really recommend that you sort of think about which of those things could help you the most, and then you really work on actually implementing that into your conversations today and tomorrow and for the rest of this week. And if you're looking for more ways to boost your conversational confidence, I have a free confidence hacks cheat sheet you can download now by clicking the I in the top right corner or the link in the description. That contains 7 quick exercises you can perform literally in seconds to boost your confidence. And if you liked this video and you enjoy my channel, make sure you hit subscribe because I release 2 new videos every single week, one on Monday and one on Thursday, and that way you don't miss any of the new content and it all pops up right on your YouTube homepage. Otherwise, give the video a thumbs up. I'll talk to you in the next video. I better talk to you in the next video or I'm gonna be mad, bro. Stay beastly.